reaction and review. Tonight, guys, I'm watching a horror film from 2015. That movie is The Boy. Now, I wish I could say I knew more about this film, but I really don't. In fact, when I was researching this film, I clicked on a completely different film with the exact same title from 2016, and I was extremely confused why the two posters were completely different, and then I figured it out, which I'm glad this one's completely different because the premise of the one that I was reading had something to do with a fucking doll with that was possessed by the spirit of a boy, something like that. It sounded fucking retarded. Now, but we're not talking about that film, we're talking about this one. Now, The Boy from 2015 has something to do with a 9-year-old who's developing into a serial killer. And that premise all on its own sounds fucking fantastic, because I myself have a weird interest in serial killers. I've watched a lot of documentaries about them, and a movie about a 9-year-old that's turning into one sounds really fucking fascinating, and I hope the movie is as good as its premise. Now, I do know one other thing. The actors in this movie, I do know 3 of the main ones. David Morris, who I've seen as the killer in Shia LaBeouf's Disturbia, and as one of the officers on death row in The Green Mile. And I know he knows how to act. And then there's Rainn Wilson, who's best known as Dwight on The Office. I don't really like The Office, but that's not the point. And then there's Mike Vogel, who's best known as Barbie from Under the Dome. So with all 3 of those actors, I know they both know how to act. And honestly, I have decent hopes for this film. It sounds like it could be really good, but I am also prepared for this film to be complete shit. I don't really know. I haven't seen a trailer. I haven't seen a photo of the cast. I haven't seen fuck all. I haven't seen a clip from the movie. I haven't seen shit. I don't know how this movie's gonna go, but the only way I'm gonna find out if this movie's any good at all is if I shut the fuck up and I press play. Now I'm gonna do that right now. So without further ado, let's sit back, chill out, and watch The Boy. So, I'm just curious, is this movie gonna ever get interesting? It's been 15 minutes and nothing's really happening. The only thing we're getting to character development is something wrong with this kid. He clearly likes collecting dead animals, Whoopie-Kaye, and his dad's kind of a douche. But clearly nothing is fucking happening. This movie has been boring as shit since it started, and I really would like something interesting to happen. Hell, I like fucking anything to happen, because so far I'm getting bored as shit right now with this movie. And there's still an hour and 45 minutes left. Oh, yippee-ki-yay. Well, guys, it's been 30 minutes almost, and still this movie has done fuck all to get interesting. I don't even know how you can consider this to be a horror film. What exactly in this film is supposed to be fucking scary? Is it the dead animals? So you're gonna call these fucking dead animals scary, then you're fucking deeply mistaken, because I've seen more scary fucking animals in fucking other films and in real life. And as a matter of fact, I've seen so many dead animals in my fucking life around my neighborhoods that I just don't see shit like that being scary. Like, ooh, a headless fucking goddamn deer. Big fucking whoop. Like, this movie better do something interesting. Because the only fucking scary thing about this horror movie has been the fucking writing. And I'm struggling to stay awake and I am getting more and more fucking irritated by every passing second of this bullshit film.
You need any finished?
You know what's really bad? When you're trying to make a scene really intense because one character's trying to drown another character. A 9-year-old trying to drown another 9-year-old. Sounds like it should be like a really intense, kind of creepy, scary thing. It really wasn't. Maybe it's because the actor that plays the psychopath kid really fucking sucks. Or maybe it's just because this film fucking sucks, but that whole scene could have been a lot more intense, but it just wasn't. This whole film is painfully unscary, and it's fucking really starting to get on my fucking nerves. Like, do one thing and make it at least partly interesting. I'm not begging for much, but give me a reason to give a fuck. Please. You know, I think I figured out something. I think I figured out what my big problem with this entire movie is. But besides the shitty ass story that is not going anywhere, and this shitty ass dialogue, shitty ass writing, it's these fucking characters. These fucking characters in this movie. I could not give less of a shit what happens to any of them because they have no personality to them. The only personality this fucking psychotic kid has is that he likes to fucking apparently fuck around and go find dead animals because his dad apparently likes to give him fucking 25 cents or something to go find dead animals. That's great parenting right fucking there. And also apparently he likes to watch the other people's families that stay at his motel sleep. That's nice to know. Is that creepy? A little bit. Is it scary? No. You know why? Because this kid isn't fucking scary. Okay? He's not close to scary. I've seen scarier fucking goddamn babies in my life than this fucking child. God. Fuck this movie. Well, guys, as this movie continues to trudge on and my boredom and hatred continues to grow, I'd just like to say, you know what would make me happy? Yeah, if this movie would just end, which I know it's not going to for another 50 minutes. Oh, fucking lucky me. But you know what would make me extremely happy? If this movie would just end with this child just stabbing his father in the throat. Or better fucking yet, have this father fucking smother his son to death with a pillow. Or better yet, have anything worth interest happen. Because since the start of this movie, the most interesting thing we have seen this entire movie is a car crash, and we didn't even get to see it happen. And that is fucking ridiculous. I don't even know anymore, guys. I'm honestly in hell right now. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, will this movie just end? Okay, I have a fucking question right now. I want to know. Somebody please give me a fucking answer. How low was the budget to this movie? Because there have been a number of sequences when something actually decent, no, barely decent as a matter of fact, kinda decent is happening, and we don't even get to see it. I just witnessed a child, this psychotic 9-year-old motherfucker, just beat one of his chickens to death because he was angry at his daddy. But we didn't even get to see it. We just got to see the top of this kid's head and him kicking a fucking corner. How low was the budget to your fucking movie? Like, how can you call yourself a horror movie if you're not willing to show the horror? I have not hated a fucking horror movie in this long. God damn it, I fucking just want this movie to end. I really fucking do, because I'm hating every passing second. Well, guys, still 29 minutes left in this shit, and you know what I'd feel like? I'd fucking love it if one of these teenagers, or if all of these teenagers out of this motel would just all team up and kill both of these fucking pieces of shit, because they are fucking awful characters. Or better yet, maybe the son could finally go ape shit and fucking kill a bunch of people. Something interesting like that. But you know what? I don't think I'm gonna get that, because this is quite possibly the most boring fucking horror movie I have ever seen, and everybody that worked on it can go and fuck themselves. Fuck this movie. It's over. Hey, fuck, it's over. Oh, fuck. No. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I do not care about your stupid fucking credits or your dumbass song. Suck my fucking nuts, movie. Oh my. Okay. Wow, where? Let's get right into this, shall we? Now, where do I start with this? I'm gonna start with usual. Let's start with the rating. I'm no expert, but I have seen a lot of horror movies. I have been watching horror movies since I was fucking big enough to talk. And as far as I'm concerned, the definition of horror is something that is made to frighten you. Something that is supposed to scare you. Whether that's slasher horror with a lot of death and gore, psychological horror, or just regular horror. But when it comes to this film, a lot of times this film comes across more as a drama than it does a horror film, which is a really weird fucking thing. The writing in this movie was terrible. It was fucking terrible. You had characters with no character to them. You had our youngest character, whatever, I don't even give a fuck what his name was. But his whole character was that apparently he's fucked up in the head, and apparently that has something to do with the fact that he has no friends and he stays in this hotel out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and his fucking dad gives him a quarter or something, 50 cents at a time to fucking go collect animal carcasses for whatever the fuck reason. That right there, that was never explained. Why in your right mind would you pay your child fucking money to walk around the fucking roads and search for dead animal carcasses? Not only does that sound disgusting, that sounds like borderline neglect on his part. honestly, and not only that, you know what's really retarded? It's the fact that they have this motel in the middle of butt fuck nowhere, and he seems surprised. The father seems surprised that they have no business. Why would you have business when nobody knows where you fucking are? Like, I can't even figure what part of the fucking America, if they're in America, if they're in Mexico, I don't know where the fuck they are, but it's in the middle of nowhere. So, who, for what reason would be, that's another thing that doesn't make sense. How far into this, how far out of town is this fucking motel to begin with? Because apparently it's close enough to town to have fucking students at a prom in the town come and fucking spend the night there, ooh la la. But I don't understand. So it's close enough to a town to have all these kids come from a prom, but it's not close enough to have regular visitors. I'm gonna just pretend like that has any logic, but okay, so yeah, the fucked up son who by far he's not even really scary. I don't even know what the fuck his deal is. I don't know if maybe he was dropped on his head or something, but if the real excuse is isolation that makes him fucking mentally disturbed, then that's kind of saying a lot, because I know people that live in the country, not much really to do in the country, and they fucking make the most of it. You don't see them turning into fucking serial killers and psychopaths. Like, and not only that, when this movie starts, it just, like, the story itself never goes anywhere. It just loops around and around and around in itself. Like, you're waiting, like, this kid's obviously got something going on in his head, but they never fully pull the trigger. They keep acting like they're actually going to do it, like, oh, something about to happen, then fuck all happens. And, it's kinda bad when you really come to think about it. And, another thing, that the character of David Morris, he plays the father, the alcoholic asshole father. Ugh. I fucking hated his character with a fucking passion. All he did the entire time was be a fucking douchebag to his son. He was, I guess he kind of deserves it. The son's just a fucking weirdo. But still, maybe your son wouldn't be so psychotic if you stopped getting drunk as fuck when you're supposed to be working and actually, oh, I don't know, spent time with him? I don't know, that's me. But honestly, there's only a handful of characters that actually have screen time that's less than 5 minutes. And that's the little boy that's a psychopath, David Morris, and Rainn Wilson, Dwight from The Office. And the guy that plays Dwight from The Office, he has the one likable character in this movie, but even he's halfway fucking unlikable, because he's just, there's not really much to say about him. Like, his wife is dead and he's pissed off about it, and the only reason he's there is because this child thought it was a good idea to put food on the road and garbage so it would attract a deer, and then the guy hit the deer. Like, but I honestly, I don't understand what part of this movie is supposed to be scary exactly. Dead animals aren't very frightening. A kid yelling about shit isn't frightening. A kid throwing stuff isn't frightening. Nothing that happened in this movie was scary. And even when they had chances to fucking do something scary, like, that's something I want to know. What was the budget in this movie? 'Cause they couldn't be bothered to show anything. Were they working with that little of a budget? Like, for example, there's a scene in the movie when the father is cutting open the dead deer that his fucking son got to get hit by a car because he's fucked up. but he's cutting the deer open and he's showing his son all this. Again, for whatever the fuck reason, why you would want to show your 9-year-old son how to cut open a fucking deer, but beyond me. But yeah, he's showing him how to cut it open, and they couldn't even show the inside of the deer or the fucking organs that he was pulling out. They couldn't even show it. All they could show was like some few droplets of blood coming out from the deer. And I really don't understand that. I've seen movies with extremely low budgets that fucking their gore and guts and shit might be look bad, but at least they fucking tried. Like, I don't understand what the whole point of that was. And not only that, when the whole car crash thing went down, you saw him put the stuff there, you heard the fucking crash, but you never saw it. All you saw was a car already crashed, the deer laying on the road, fucking moving around, fucked up, and then the guy comes and gets pulled out of the car, he blah blah, that's fucking, that's it. And what else for horror? Oh, you got Dwight from The Office. His one halfway decent character fucking dies, of course he does, because that's just my luck with these kinds of movies. And they, honestly, I'm not even sure, like, this 9-year-old child apparently has so much free time on his hands while he's helping his dad run this motel. He was able to dig a fucking hole big enough for a man to fall in and put sharp objects in it, I'm guessing. I'm not really sure. They never really explained it. You just kind of saw him fall into this big ass hole and he had like something sticking out of him. I don't really know what it was. But again, you just saw him fall into the hole. You didn't see anything stab him. You didn't see anything like that. Which is really depressing. What else? Yeah, that's something I'd really like them to explain to me. How this 9-year-old fucking little boy, who's got the fucking build of a goddamn bird. He's got a bird chest, bird arms, bird legs, he's fucking small. How in the hell was he able to dig a hole that fucking deep? I'd really like somebody to fucking explain that to me. I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, by the way, this is what I find. You know how I said at the very end, when those kids from prom are coming to the fucking motel to stay, I said I want either them to just beat the hell out of him and maybe even kill him, or him to just finally lose his shit and kill them all. Wouldn't you know it, both of those things happened. That was the one decent thing to happen in this movie. Was a bunch of fucking teenage... One second. Yes?
Where's your shorts on?
Okay, I'll be up in a second. For fuck's sake. Was the one decent thing is a bunch of teenagers beating the shit out of a child. That's kind of bad, but it's the one decent thing I can give. Another thing, the fact that they couldn't even... The kid burns down the motel after the big kids beat the shit out of him because he was trying to smother this drunk girl and kill her for whatever the fuck reason. Don't ask me why, but I don't really know. But yeah, he lights the hotel on fire and we don't get to see any fucking mayhem of the bodies being burned or kids running out. No, none of that. This is the most unhorrifying horror film I have ever seen. And the acting in this movie is fucking horrendously bad. The kid, especially, the kid in this movie that plays that fucking psychopath, I have not seen a child give such a shitty performance since the 2009 remake of Children of the Corn and the kid that played Isaac in that movie. The kid that played Isaac in the remake of Children of the Corn was fucking awful. And this kid is right up there with them. Gives the fucking worst performance I've seen from a child in a long time. And oh boy, howdy do I fucking hate his fucking face. And David Morris didn't even fucking try. He honestly just could not have given less of a shit about his performance in this movie, so he just didn't bother trying acting. Dwight from The Office, though, fucking Rainn Wilson, he tries. He tries with what he can, but honestly, he doesn't have really much to work with, per se, so it's kind of hard to fault him, but at least he fucking tried. Guys, honestly, I went into this with actual hopes, expecting it to be moderately decent, because a fucking film about a 9-year-old that has a fascination with death and starts turning into a serial killer. That sounds interesting, but the way that they fucking went with it was absolutely fucking garbage. So, when all is said and done, am I able to recommend The Boy? No. Not a chance in fucking hell. Honestly, I wish I'd watched the fucking movie The Boy with the goddamn puppet possessed by some boy. I'd rather watch that one. That one might have... Hell, would have had jump scares. Might have actually been scary. Jump scares are fucking a lame way to be scary, but hey, they would have been a lot fucking scarier than the bullshit this film fed me. So yeah, this... Not only was this the worst horror film I've seen for this series, this has to be the most boring horror film I've seen. Period. Well, guys, that's all I really have to say. If anybody tells you to watch this, tell them to go fuck themselves. With that, we come to a close to another reaction and review. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I sure enjoyed bringing it to you. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any suggestions of movies you'd like me to watch and review. Until next time, guys, I will see you guys later. Peace out, guys.